Okay, so hello everyone again. Thank you for joining today for our live webinar from the ServiceNow Build Partner. And today we'll be talking about custom ServiceNow reports and BI analytics. Just a few words about the company who is holding this webinar. We are ACSoft, also known in the industry as AlphaServe. We are ServiceNow Build Partner in the platform segment since 2021, having a software development background for many years, since 2003. At the moment, we have 2 applications on the ServiceNow store, but additionally, we operate on other platforms, and we are Platinum Partner of Atlassian Marketplace, Zendesk Tech Partner, Mandico Marketplace Partner, and Shopify App Store Developer. Our key competence is in data extraction and data transformation. That's why we are talking about reporting today. And the heart of our portfolio are the BI connectors, not only for ServiceNow, but also for Jira, Zendesk, Monday.com, and Shopify. Who is speaking today? It's me. Nice to meet you. My name is Anna, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer of ACSoft, responsible for the business development. I'm a business person, so I'm not a deep techie. That's why if I'm not able to answer any of your specific technical questions today, I will ask my team and reply you afterwards. So briefly about the agenda, we'll start with the role of ServiceNow data and its significance in the driving informed decisions for the companies. Then we'll talk about the options, how we can build custom ServiceNow reporting for those for whom built-in reporting is not a solution. We'll talk about BI integration for ServiceNow, how to effectively use Power BI or Tableau integration to visualize and analyze the data. And we'll wrap up with the best practices, what you need to know before you start considering reporting options, and what to consider. Hope it will be insightful and helpful for you. So, as promised, we are starting with critical role of the ServiceNow data. Just, it's not the all points, but unfortunately I cannot cover all, but these I consider to be most important. So the first point is that ServiceNow is in fact your centralized data repository. And this consolidation of data from different business processes covered with ServiceNow software can provide a holistic view on the organization's operation. So this is a good data source and a good input for your further analysis. It also helps with data-driven decision-making because it can help optimize workflow, allocate resources correctly or more effectively, identify areas of risk, etc. This is where the ServiceNow data can provide the foundation for your strategic decision-making in the company. Next is that it can significantly cover and influence your efficient services and delivery because data generated by ServiceNow instance on a daily basis allows companies to analyze trends, improve the service delivery, automate workflows, and many other things which lead to increased efficiency in your business operations. And last but not the least that I cannot omit today is the compliance and risk management. Because you may know that many industries have regulatory compliance requirements, and ServiceNow data is exactly the data that can be used to generate reports and demonstrate compliance with regulations. So from this perspective, ServiceNow data is also really very helpful. That's why it is important to somehow collect it and try to build reports and try to analyze and make decisions based on this data. As you know, ServiceNow offers the built-in reporting module, and it's pretty straightforward, and users can create a report, can create dashboards and add the needed reports there for their convenience. At the same time, it has a few crucial things and crucial bottlenecks, which I'd like to highlight for you to consider when you're thinking about reporting in ServiceNow. For example, ServiceNow reports can be built over the current state. So you can build reports and see how many incidents are open right now, but they don't allow you to see the dynamics. So if you need to see the traction, how many incidents were open today, yesterday, 3 days ago, etc., it will be challenging to do it. Secondly, reports can be visible to all ServiceNow users or to certain user groups with the sharing option, but still, it is not possible to share those reports outside of your ServiceNow instance. Not always it's important, but sometimes, if it is, there is a PDF option available, but it means that the user can download and share the current report for this definite moment. So this function doesn't allow to automatically get the updated report on a regular basis for the stakeholders outside of ServiceNow instance. It can be only done with the manual work. Next, it is challenging to build a single report based on multiple tables or multiple data sources. And additionally, if you want to combine ServiceNow data with other data sources such as CRM or Jira, etc., outside of ServiceNow, it is not possible inside of ServiceNow instance with the built-in reporting. And there are two more points which I'd like you to remember when you are thinking about using the ServiceNow built-in option. Normally, the ServiceNow instance is very customized. So every company has its own ServiceNow infrastructure, a different combination of modules and ServiceNow products within every company. So normally, there are many different teams working on various reports and dashboards based in their reporting needs. So sometimes it may lead to varied reporting configurations across the instance, which introduces inconsistency in the reporting practices. In this case, it is challenging for the company to ensure a single approach to overall company reporting, though normally a single point of control preferred, and there should always be a process owner in such important issue as reporting. That's why the companies may require additional policies or additional people or points of control to keep the process working at a single approach when different teams are working inside the ServiceNow instance reporting. And additionally, what is also important to remember while considering alternatives, that normally ServiceNow tends to have millions of records from different teams which use the software on a daily operations. And a lot of companies are data security concerned. And normally, the normal practice is that they prefer to own, store, and manage their ServiceNow data by themselves. That is why it is important to ensure that the data is not leaving ServiceNow instance. It is not copied nor transferred anywhere outside of customers' control. The data can be only controlled and accessed by the company, and the data access is fully compliant with the company's policies and user access permissions. So this is something not to forget while you are thinking about building reporting based on your ServiceNow data. So if you are not happy to some reasons with all the bottlenecks that I've just mentioned, and you are looking for some other ways to build the custom reports, there are several options for you to consider. I have mentioned here several of them, which are normally widely used. So the first idea that comes as an alternative is to use the performance analytics module from ServiceNow. It allows to create scorecards, dashboards, and reports based on key performance indicators. And what is important, it allows to build the reporting in traction. So it widens the possibilities of ServiceNow built-in reporting and allows to build to measure the performance within time. Of course, it's a paid option, and you need additionally to pay for this module when you if you want to use it. Now, the old school method, as they call it, is to export to PDF and Excel. I don't think it's a good option for regular reports or for something that needs to be renewed automatically, but for some cases, it's a clue. Users can export lists or dashboards from ServiceNow to PDF or Excel formats and share, for example, this information outside the platform. There is one more option like Jasper Reports integration. Jasper Reports is an open source reporting tool that provides extensive customization options. Me personally, I haven't investigated it deeply, but I know that some companies are using this. The custom development is an option always for everyone, because it's always available if you have resources or you have developers or you are willing to build your own reporting solution. It can be a good point for some sophisticated data exporting requirements, or for companies having complex business processes and complex ServiceNow data models. But then this is something to consider. And another most popular thing, which comes at the same line with performance analytics, is the professional BI software, professional tools such as Microsoft Power BI or Tableau software, Looker, or any others. As you know, it is possible to integrate ServiceNow with those tools, and they can provide powerful visualization and analytics capabilities beyond that is available natively in ServiceNow. So if this is something, if you are looking for alternatives, you can take a look at those. And today we'll focus on the most popular options, such as integrating ServiceNow with professional BI software. Building ServiceNow reports in professional BI software is a very common option, as I said. The only thing that you need to ensure is a seamless integration, and building such kind of reporting will allow you to overcome all the limits. For example, in Power BI or Tableau, users can build any types of ServiceNow reports, both for the current status and for performance over time. As you see here are the examples, and I'll show more later. Additionally, it is possible to share those reports by using the different tools from Power BI or from Tableau, and it can be shared with the relevant stakeholders, and they can be kept updated without a necessity to send a PDF every time. Users can combine data from multiple data sources, from multiple ServiceNow tables, multiple database views, as well as it can be possible to use the custom tables for their reporting purposes. It is also possible to combine ServiceNow data with other data sources on the Power BI Tableau side, using different integrations, not only with ServiceNow, but with other software. And this will allow companies to build consolidated reporting on the top level. So this is normally the case for the companies who already use either Power BI or Tableau, and they have competence inside the team, and they want to enrich this reporting by adding ServiceNow data and building reports based on ServiceNow data. Next is the fact that normally the reporting will be managed by a business analyst or business intelligence team. So in this case, it will be easier for the company to ensure the data consistency and to keep the corporate reporting approach. That's why, because thanks to the managed control over all the reporting built in Power BI or Tableau. Additionally, it is possible to integrate ServiceNow with those tools without exporting data or copying it elsewhere externally. So a bridge integration is possible here to let all of your data stay inside the ServiceNow instance. And it is also possible to respect the ServiceNow user roles and access permissions when fetching data to Power BI or Tableau. If this is something that you are interested in, and this is something that seems to be suitable, please take a look at a few reports that is possible to be to build in Power BI. This is, for example, the very common incident management report, the current state, which includes the most popular KPIs for the incident management. And this is the traction over time report. There is not much data because it's built on the dummy data, but normally you can see that the periods can be tracked during years or months or weeks. And this is an example of executive dashboard built in Tableau software based on the ServiceNow data. And as you see, there are also the current state numbers, and the traction can also be seen here. So if this is something that you're looking to build in your company, you can think about integrating ServiceNow with any of the BI tools. And normally there are two most popular options to do it. The one is to use the ServiceNow API. As you know, ServiceNow offers a free API for such kind of custom integrations. It can be complicated, and of course it requires development with both API and Power BI or Tableau skills. It can be useful for some specific or sophisticated custom solutions, and of course it requires resources and time for not only for the implementation, but then for the further support, development, and documentation. But the good thing is that it is free of charge. So you don't pay for API, you need to pay only for resources. Or if you're looking for a ready solution, which you can use exactly at the moment, so you don't need to wait until the development is done, then you can consider one of our applications which we offer on the ServiceNow store. There is a Power BI connector for ServiceNow if you're willing to integrate your instance with Power BI, and the Tableau connector for ServiceNow. They are easy to start using, no additional skills are required. They offer several important features like advanced filtering of data, dot walking, the scheduled and incremental refresh are supported. And as a vendor, we offer a comprehensive documentation guides and professional vendor support. But of course, it's a paid solution. It's based on the 12-month subscription, and is the price is per production instance. So if you're looking for such kind of things, you can just go to the ServiceNow store and browse for Power BI Tableau. This is how our applications look like. You can start a free trial. It is available by default for 30 days, but it can be extended upon your request. So in total, you can have more than 3 months of free trial on your sub-production environment to make sure if this is something that may fit your reporting and integration request. So just to give you a hint how the work with the application looks like, of course, the first step is that you need to install the application from the store. It can be done by any user with high credentials from your side. The second step is to assign user roles for the relevant user, because normally after installation, the app is available only to admin. Normally, not all of your, for example, 10,000 ServiceNow users will be working with the application, because you have a team of 20 or 30 business analysts who will be exactly working with the app. So you can assign roles to see and to use the application only to those 30 people. This can be granted by your ServiceNow admin, and all the rest will not even see the application inside the instance. Then the users can start creating data sources. Data sources are the exact configuration of data for export. So they may create as many data sources as they need for each of reports they have in Power BI or in Tableau. And it is highly recommended to customize the export as much as possible, because there is no need to pull all the data from ServiceNow. There are tons and tons of data. That's why we offer all the opportunities for the users to customize and pick exactly what they need to optimize the export time and business analysts' efforts. When the data source is created, the data source link needs to be copied, and then you just need to open your Power BI or Tableau and fetch data from ServiceNow using the connector URL via OData feed or for Power BI, and via Web Connector for Tableau. And having the needed data as the final step in your BI tool, you can build any customized reports based on ServiceNow data, as well as you can build queries and combine it with other data sources, etc. I'm not going to show you the demo today, so just a few slides how the product looks like on the example of Power BI connector, but they're very, very close. So the application offers the user-friendly portal where you can create data sources from. You can reach our support directly from here. You can get access to documentation, and you can see what others do and which data sources have been created by others in this portal. As I said, the application allows to create as many data sources as you need. We will talk about the usability of this some moments later in the best practices section. But this is how the data source creation looks like. You just need to add a name, to add tables here, or database views, which from which you need the data for your reporting. You can apply necessary filters, you can prevent others from editing, and many, many more, which is important during the working with the tool. As I said, you can apply the filters, so you can pretty specifically customize your data export, because you can filter by almost all the fields. You can apply the relevant selection frame, time frame, or whatever. You can filter, you could add several filters per data source, and they will be applied at a time. So you can pretty much customize the data export which you want to see on the Power BI side. I cannot mention the dot walking feature. It's very nice to have it for easy navigation, because you know that tables in ServiceNow instance are divided into parent tables and child tables, and there are a lot of references between them. So you can easily navigate over the reference fields and see what the reference fields are available for certain field in one of the tables. And additionally, you don't need to add two tables. You can just add a reference field as a column instead of adding one more table to the data export. And one more interesting feature that the application allows to create data sources from your existing ServiceNow report. So if you have a very well customized or set up reports inside of ServiceNow, you can build a data source and recreate this report in Power BI or Tableau using our application. So you only need to select the report, and the app will do the rest for you. The needed tables and fields will be selected automatically, and the needed filters will be applied. So you will only need to copy the data source and fetch data to Power BI or Tableau and recreate the report there. And additionally, for Power BI connector, we offer the templates, the report templates. So some of those that I've showed you are from our application. You can select one of the 5 built-in templates for the most popular ServiceNow reports, and mind that every report includes 2 different dashboards, one for current state and the second one for the performance state. You can download the template. The app will create a data source for you fully automatically, the same that the app will pick up the needed tables and fields and apply the necessary filters. And then you can just import the template into your Power BI and import data using the ready URL, and you're done. You will see this definite report on Power BI side, but based on your ServiceNow data. So if this is something that is looking interesting for you, for your case as a company or for your customers, if you are a ServiceNow partner, I kindly invite you to start a 30 days trial on the ServiceNow store. So I put here the codes in order not to make links. And also I can offer you, I'm open to invite you for a live demo session with our sales team, where you can see the live demo of the product, and you will be able to ask any of the questions that you may have. So if this is something that looks interesting, as promised, I would like to mention some best practices and hints for those companies or analysts who are considering building ServiceNow reports outside in the professional BI tools, such as Power BI and Tableau. As a business person and not a marketing person, I could not omit the first point of knowing your persona. Why it's important? Because normally ServiceNow is in use by a lot of different teams and various stakeholders, and each team has unique needs and unique perspective. So it's highly recommended to, in the very beginning, to recognize their requirements and to know it in advance. Consider building different versions of report for their specific needs for every team and stakeholders. The next step, if you know what the teams want from you, it is very, very crucial to know to learn with the ServiceNow data model. As you know, ServiceNow as a database structure, it's a database platform, and its structure is built on tables. These tables store the data relevant to different processes taken from different ServiceNow modules and functions in ServiceNow. So understanding this data model and those structures is very critical for reporting, because not knowing the data model, you will not be able to define where is exactly in ServiceNow the data which you need for your calculations or for your KPIs. Additionally, I'd recommend also to prioritize data quality and consistency. So to make sure that the data pulled from ServiceNow into Power BI or Tableau is clean, consistent, accurate, and nearly real time. It's also recommended to regularly audit and validate the ServiceNow data and to find out if there are any inconsistencies, etc. If you are considering using the connectors that I've mentioned to integrate your ServiceNow instance with Power BI or Tableau, the best practice would be, as I mentioned before, to build multiple data sources. So here on the image, you can see the normal case when inside the ServiceNow instance, there are different teams working, and different teams may have their different reports based on exactly their metrics. So it's recommended to tailor the data export and to create a data source for each single report in order not to pool all the huge data amounts at a time, but to customize the export and pull from ServiceNow instance exactly the data that is needed for these definite reports. And for Power BI users, it is also recommended to consider using built-in templates. So it can be useful for such cases if you are on the POC phase and you need to check the feasibility of ServiceNow reporting in Power BI for the company. So you can just connect from Power BI to ServiceNow and see if this kind of reporting is good for you. Then for smaller teams not having at the moment the BI expert, they can instantly get the reports from Power BI and see the most popular metrics calculated on their ServiceNow data. And another case is when you need to quickly check the correctness of the data fetched by the Power BI connector and understand if the app works for your business case. So for this, a built-in template is also an option, not to spend time on building the reports, not knowing that the integration works for you. And also, I need to add that the provided templates, of course, they can be further changed and customized, and the data source provided for each template can be customized according to the company's custom requirements. So it's just a starting point. And one more thing, which I would also like to remind that a ServiceNow normally tends to have a huge amount of data. The time to export data out into Power BI or Tableau is a critical point for many customers. That's why we highly recommend to use the refreshing capabilities on one hand to make the refresh effective and to keep the near real-time data for your dashboards. The scheduled refresh or scheduled refresh is available both for Power BI and Tableau. It can be configured on the software side, not inside the connector. The connector just supports this option. So this means the automatic data updates in Power BI or Tableau reports and dashboards. Users can define a refresh schedule, specify when they want the data to be refreshed on Power BI or Tableau side. For example, one of the best practices is to schedule a refresh on 8 a.m. in the morning. So when people come at 9 and start a daily meeting, they have the most fresh report in Power BI or Tableau pulled from ServiceNow, and they can work with this input and make decisions during the daily meeting. So such kind of refresh ensures that the Power BI Tableau content reflects the near real-time information without any manual efforts. So this can be configured on Power BI or Tableau side once, and then it will just be refreshed at the time that you defined. And another thing which we also recommend to use, unfortunately, it's available only for Microsoft Power BI, but our application supports it here, is the incremental refresh. It's a feature that allows users to avoid full data overwriting, and it allows only to refresh a part of the data set which has been changed recently. So by using the incremental refresh, users can significantly reduce the refresh time and improve the overall performance. And this is especially beneficial for large data sets where the majority of information remains unchanged. So this will help to optimize the use of resources and enable more frequent updates without the need to refresh the entire data set. So basically, that's all from my side. Here are the contacts of our company and the LinkedIn, and I also put a code for book a demo here. And I thank you for your attention. We still have some time for questions, so I'm kindly inviting you to ask the questions if you have any. Please, you can drop them to chat, or you can just raise a hand and say from voice. Don't be shy. Any questions? No question from my side. Thank you for the demo and options. Welcome. I'm happy to know that it was interesting for you, and I hope it was valuable. On one hand, no questions means that everything is clear, or it may mean that nothing is clear. So I hope for the first. Okay. Thank you. Welcome. Have you tried the Power BI Copilot for generating reports yet? No, we haven't. We haven't yet. But if you have, feel free to share the experience. Thank you, Mike. Good overview. Thank you.